Welcome to this short video highlighting Chapter 8 of Bob Cochran's second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Towards Mastery. If you find the material interesting, much greater detail may be found within the book, which is available on Amazon.com in either paperback or e-reader form. Let's get started. Chapter 8, Navigating Hidden Dimensions. Picture this. Someone walks into a cosmic restaurant, sits down, and loudly declares, "I don't want to be broke." The universe, being the literal-minded waiter it is, brings them exactly what they ordered, more experiences of not wanting to be broke. Meanwhile, at the next table, someone quietly says, "Thank you for abundance," and somehow their meal comes with a side of unexpected opportunities. This scenario illustrates what Bob Cochran explores in his fascinating dive into manifestation mastery. According to his interpretation of ancient Aramaic texts, the original "ask and you shall receive" recipe got lost in translation. The real version reads more like "ask directly, without hidden motives, making yourself a vibrational match to what you seek, and lean into synchronicities with grateful anticipation." The key difference? Spiritual avatars throughout history weren't just wishing harder. They were operating with what Cochran calls cultivated, self-sovereign, higher vibration minds, with fewer subconscious roadblocks. Compassion, your universal power outlet. Here's where things get interesting. Cochran suggests that compassion isn't just a nice-to-have human quality. It's literally the frequency that unlocks universal power and information. Tibetan monks who've made compassion their full-time job don't just live longer and healthier lives by accident. They've essentially tuned their personal radio to the cosmic broadcast station that transmits wisdom, power, and health-affirming energies. The science backs this up. When researcher Greg Braden asked a Tibetan monk which human emotion creates the strongest connection to universal consciousness, the answer was immediate: compassion. It's like having the password to the universe's Wi-Fi network, except instead of getting access to cat videos, you get access to profound wisdom and healing energy. But here's the catch. You can't just fake dial into compassion while your internal circuits are jammed up with old trauma, fear, and grievances. It's like trying to charge your phone with a cable that's been chewed by your dog. The power might be available, but it's not getting through. Managing your consciousness GPS. Cochran introduces a fascinating concept about consciousness's distance from what he calls home base, that relaxed, loving, creative state you experience when fully present and heart-centered. Every time someone gets lost in their head, caught up in social media, or absorbed in the latest Netflix series, they're walking themselves multiple levels away from their cosmic power source. If you're watching an actor on a screen who's reading a book about historical events, you're now perhaps 3 levels removed from here and now, present moment reality. Each level of distance offers less and less connection to our universal power source. It's like trying to charge your phone with a proximity charger from several feet away. The solution? Meditation, literally meaning to return to the middle, or center. When playfulness, compassion, and forgiveness return, you know you've successfully navigated back to home base. It's the human equivalent of rebooting your system and clearing the cache. The timeline shuffle. Now things get really interesting. Ever remember a movie quote differently than how it actually appears when you watch it again? Welcome to the Mandela effect, where large groups of people share memories that don't match current reality. Cochran suggests this might not be just mass misremembering, but evidence that our timelines are being altered, either by future time travelers, consciousness shifts, or our ability to navigate between parallel realities. The idea is that instead of trying to force changes in our current timeline, which is like trying to steer a cruise ship with a paddle, we might be able to navigate to adjacent timelines where the desired outcome already exists. It's the difference between creating a new reality and simply navigating to the one you more prefer. Consider the documented case of a 3-inch bladder tumor disappearing in 3 minutes on a real-time ultrasound monitor in a Beijing hospital. Rather than the tumor being healed in the traditional sense, perhaps the patient's consciousness simply navigated through successive timelines until reaching one where no tumor existed. Energy reclamation, tuning into the cosmic broadcast. Cochran proposes that everything in the universe is essentially different modulations of the same carrier wave, a cosmic consciousness operating at the frequency of love. Like an AM radio that can pick up different stations depending on where you set the dial, humans can tune into different levels of universal energy and information based on their emotional frequency. Set your internal tuner to gratitude, forgiveness, or compassion, and you're downloading high-quality cosmic data and energy. Tune into fear, judgment, or shame, and you're essentially choosing to operate in low battery mode while missing most of the available cosmic Wi-Fi signal. The practical application? That person who accomplishes so much while looking vibrant and energized isn't necessarily working harder. They're just better tuned to the universal power source. They've figured out how to maintain their connection to the cosmic broadcast instead of constantly detuning themselves with low vibration thoughts and media consumption. The future of truth, when lies become increasingly impossible. Looking ahead, Cochran envisions a fascinating future where deception becomes increasingly rare. Imagine smart glasses that flash discrete lights only you can see. Green when someone believes what they're saying, red when they don't. Add pupil monitoring technology that can detect truth versus falsehood, and suddenly the whole game changes. Picture reading social media posts or history books while wearing these devices, seeing line-by-line indicators of truth levels. Most of what's currently accepted as fact might light up like a Christmas tree of inaccuracy. The implications for politics, sales, media, and education could be revolutionary. This potential extinction of deception might require us to completely reimagine how society functions. Instead of measuring history as BC and AD, we might start using DP, deception possible, and DMP, deception not possible. Talk about a paradigm shift. Your invitation to higher dimensions. The underlying message throughout Cochran's exploration is both simple and profound. Humans have barely scratched the surface of their potential capabilities. Whether it's manifesting through compassion, navigating timelines, or accessing universal wisdom, the tools for mastery appear to be built into our operating system. We've just forgotten how to use them. The invitation isn't to believe everything presented here, but to remain curious and open to possibilities beyond conventional reality. In a universe where consciousness might be the fundamental building block and love the carrier wave for all information, perhaps the most radical act is learning to tune into frequencies most people have forgotten exist. The question is, what becomes possible when enough people start operating from the assumption that reality is far more malleable and magnificent than previously imagined? What will it be? For more information on Bob Cochran's first book, Hyperdimensional You, a time-traveling note to self from the corner of science and spirituality, or his second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Toward Mastery. Check out Clever, the number 2, wise.com, that's clever2wise.com, or on Facebook, #Clever2Wise. Feel free to also subscribe and like on Bob's YouTube channel, which can be located by way of the handle at Clever2Wise.